Hi there, and welcome to training number 1, part 3. In this video, I will be showing you how to build your landing page for your app. So in part 2, we looked at how to take that launch blueprint that we created in part 1 and use ChatGPT to help us come up with our branding features. So our logos, you can even use it to come up with the colors that you want to use, the title for your app. And we also looked at how to prompt for coming up with landing page copy, which is going to help us a lot. So now in part 3, we are actually working inside of Softr, which is our no-code app platform builder. And it's just, to get to Softr, you just go to SOFTR, so it's the word Softr without .io. And this will bring you to the main dashboard, which is what you see here. Now, there are a few ways that you can actually create your prompts. And by the way, the free plan of Softr does allow you to publish your first app for free, which is amazing. So I am on the paid plan because I'm obviously going to be publishing a lot of apps. But when you come in here to the dashboard, there's a couple of places that you can go to build an app. So you can start from scratch, which is what we will be doing today. They also have Generate with AI, which is interesting. I don't love it, but anytime I see a product that has AI like this, I'm thinking this is really great and it's only going to get better. So maybe one day I'll like it. I don't want to discourage you from trying it. I definitely recommend going to the different templates and learning through the templates. So take a look when you get a moment at all the different templates that they have here, because when I was just learning how to build apps in Softr, that's really how I learned, was going inside of the templates to get ideas of what's possible. So just as a really quick overview, the way that we're building apps here with Softr is that we're actually attaching databases. For the purposes of this training, we will be using Notion, which we'll get into in part 4. And we'll be connecting our Notion database. You can also use Google Sheets, Airtable, tons of other databases. And what we do is we connect the database to Softr, which is the front end. That's what people see. So what we're going to do in this video is actually build the waitlist landing page for our app, which can be completely automated. My waitlist is automated. So when someone puts their name and, when they put their email address in, they automatically get a welcome email, and inside of that welcome email is an onboarding survey and a link to create their first launch blueprint. And all of that is done through Make, which we will get into probably in training number 2. Okay, so for today, we are going to just start from scratch here. And for now, we're going to skip this part because we haven't built our Notion database yet. But in the future, if you have, you can go ahead and connect it. But for now, we'll just hit connect later. Okay. And again, we have ChatGPT up with all of our branding elements inside, our different titles, our landing page copy. And so that is going to be very useful. So when we come inside here, this is the builder. Okay. So up here, you have the name of your app. If you have title, you can come up here and right away give your app a name. So I'm just going to call this a test app. Okay, so now just to orient you, on the left-hand side here, this is where you're going to build your pages. So just like a website, your web app, which by the way can also be an iPhone app and an Android app, but we can have different pages here. Okay, so there are these built-in default pages, which is really nice and helpful. You can add additional pages. You can also come in here to the settings if you want to change the page name, change different SEO factors. You can do all of that in here under page settings. And then we have our theme. So again, once you know what your logo is, what your colors are, what your fonts are, you can come in here and change all of that. Now, for the purposes of what we're doing here, I definitely recommend don't spend so much time on things like font and colors to begin with. Okay, we really want to just build the landing page, get the content right, get the copy right, and then you can always come back. Now, I know my colors are purple. So one of the first things I can do is come in here and choose the color. Now, the great thing that you can also do is use ChatGPT to get your hex number. So if you have a certain color that you're always using, you can get that hex number and put it in here so that it's consistent with your brand. Okay, you can choose things like size, roundness of different buttons, and all of that happens here in theme. Okay, actually, I'll go ahead and just hit save here. We're not going to get to users in this training, but this is where we can actually add our app users, and then we have other settings here. But for this training, we're really just focused on getting right into building our app. So as you can see up here, these software apps are compatible with desktop, tablet, and phone, mobile. So it's really nice because you can see what it looks like on each of those. And then the other thing I want to show you before we start building here is that on the right-hand side, this is where we have our, what are called our blocks. Okay, so each of these are different blocks, and if you click on the block, then everything that you need to edit that block is right here on the right-hand side, which is really nice. Anytime you see a paintbrush, that means that's an opportunity for you to actually change something with the styling, whether it's font size or color. You can actually update your image here by updating the logo. You can add different links, but all of this happens on the right-hand side. That's where we're actually building. And then in the middle here is where we see what's happening. Now, one of the first things I like to do is come in here and just go ahead and delete most of these blocks, because most of these blocks we're not actually going to use. So that's one of the first things I'm going to do is just come in here and clean up. Okay, so now all I have is my very basic header. And to begin, I will go ahead and just click the add block button. Now, a couple of things here to know about blocks. There's two types of blocks. There's the container block as well, but for the purpose of this training, we're only going to focus on dynamic blocks and static blocks. Dynamic blocks are the blocks that are connected to our databases, and those change based on how the data in the database changes. So if we add a new row to a spreadsheet, that is going to connect to our app, which is really, really nice. So basically, you can see this app as a front-end user-friendly way for your community members, your client, whoever the app is for, to actually be able to interact and engage with the app without actually seeing the database, because that's what's behind the scenes. For the landing page, we are going to start with static blocks, and that's what you might be used to if you've ever done any sort of web development or design. So those are blocks that do not change based on data. You have to actually come in and edit them if you want them to change. So we're going to start with two blocks here, and the first is going to be the hero block. So we'll just click on hero, and you see these are all different types of hero blocks, which are that's the first thing you see when you open up the web page or the web app. And because we are doing a wait list, I am choosing this one, which is hero with email capture. And we just hit the plus button, very easy, and it gets added. Okay. Now the second block that we're going to be using is a features block. So once again, I'm going to click the plus button here and come over to static. And the next block here is feature. Now there's all different types of feature blocks you can use here. Let's see, we'll go ahead and choose this one. Okay, but you can choose any feature block that you want. And this is our basic landing page. So we're going to have our header with our logo, and then a place for people to put in their email address, and then a feature block, and that's it for now. And I promise you that that's really all you need to get started, to let people know what your app is about, get them excited, have them give you their email address, go through the entire automation process, which we will go through in future training. But the main thing here is to right away just like get your app out there, start getting interest, start getting email list growth from it. Okay. So now we're just going to come in here and start editing. So if I click on this first header, first thing I want to do here is update the logo. Now in training in part 2, I showed you how to use ChatGPT and uploading the launch blueprint to create a logo. So I'm just going to upload that logo that I took a screenshot of. Okay, and so you can upload whatever logo it is that you decided on for your app. Okay, so I have my screenshot here. I'm just going to click it, and now you see it comes up. Now I can go to styles and change the background color of the header. I can change the width of it. And of course, I can come over here and change these different links. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is delete most of these. Again, I'm just cleaning up to make this very, very simple. Okay. So I might add a link here that says, contact me. You can add whatever you want up here, but this is how you come over and actually edit the different links at the top. Okay, but for now, I'm just going to go ahead and delete most of these, and I'm going to switch off show user profile, because for this landing page, we don't have any users. This is a basic landing page where we can collect email addresses through our waitlist. Okay, and so that's it. Now, if I do want to add something to the contact section, I can add a couple things here. I can add a sublink if I want it to be a drop down like you see here. I can also click add action, which is really nice, because then you can say, what do you want to happen when someone clicks on the contact button? Is it going to open another page, scroll to a section, open external URL? So that's what that looks like. All right, now let's get into this hero section here, okay? You'll want to start by going to ChatGPT. So let's go ahead and go back to our ChatGPT conversation, and let's start grabbing some of our copy here to start building our landing page. Okay, so again, we are in the hero section. So I will go ahead and highlight the headline here, and I'm going to come over back to Softer. And this headline is actually the title. So I'm just going to take this out and replace it. And there we go. We have our headline. Okay, and if I come back to ChatGPT, I can actually highlight our sub headline. Now I'm just copy and pasting. Of course, I highly recommend that you do more editing than I'm doing now, but for the purpose of this training, I just want to show you how we can move back and forth. Sorry, I didn't show this tab, but I just came over here and I pasted right into the subtitle, and you see that there. Now, the other thing we can do is add a background image. Of course, we can go to styles and change the background color, the padding. Of course, we will want to update this image here. And the nice thing is we do have stock photos that are provided by Softer. So if you want to use one of these stock photos, you can. Maybe I'll put in here app development and just see if it gives me something nice. Or I could use the logo again. So let's see. We'll just pick something here. I'll use this one. This is nice. Okay. So you see this is matching my branding colors. I already have my logo up here, so it's nice to just have a stock image. Of course, you can use AI image generation to create something as well. But you see how it's starting to come together now really quickly. And then the other thing we can do here is we can update our button. So one of the things I like to do, if you just click this paintbrush, you can come here and choose text size, text color. You can change the font. There's a lot you can do here. You can even change the roundness of the button. I like having a rounded button. You can even change what's inside here. I like to keep it as your email, but I'm going to change this to waitlist. Okay. So now that's it for the hero section. Actually, let's do one more thing. In future trainings, I'm going to show you how to build the entire automation in Make. But for now, what we want to do is actually just forward these to your email so that you have some way of actually collecting these emails. So just put in any email address that you want to be notified when someone joins your waitlist. And then when that happens, for now, until we automate this, you'll just want to manually copy and paste those emails into some sort of database until I actually show you how to automate it with Make. Now, if you do have MailChimp, or there were some other ones in there, you can also connect it to those as well. So that's our hero section. Okay, now we want to come down into our features section and basically do the same thing. So we can come back over to ChatGPT, and we have our nice features section here. I'm going to come down and I'm going to highlight why creators love alpha, and this will be our title. Okay, so you see I'm just simply replacing what's in here and it automatically updates, which is really nice. And now I will come back and I'm just going to grab the sub headline and come back over, copy paste. See how simple that is? And now we have our 4 features. Okay, you can add an additional feature if you'd like. You can also delete any of these features if you only want to have a couple. Each feature can have its own image as well. So to update each feature, you'll just click on the number of that feature. Okay, so let's see. This first feature here is collaborative workspaces. So I'm just going back and forth between ChatGPT to copy the feature, and then ChatGPT also gave us the description of the feature, which is really nice and just a huge time saver. Okay, so I'm not going to do this for all of them. I'm just going to show you feature number 1, but I would just keep going back and forth until I get done with all of my features. And then each feature should have its own image. So for this one, I'm going to go to a stock photo again and just search for something that relates to collaboration. Okay, and just so that we have a nice image there. So let's use this one. Okay, now each feature, again, will have its own image. So as the visitors to your landing page are clicking on a feature, they're going to see a different image, which is really nice. And that's it. Those are the main elements of our initial landing page. If I wanted to, of course, I could align the colors here to be more aligned with our branding colors. But again, for the landing page, the point here is to get something out and get it published. Okay, so that's all for part 3. In part 4, I'm going to show you how to start building your databases in Notion, and then we're going to connect everything together and publish our waitlist landing page.